Hey yo, here's how you turn your front kick into a laser-guided predator missile. A hell of a weapon that lands with a sizzle. How to eviscerate an enemy ever. All you need is a wall, a chair, and 1 square meter of space, my brother. If the jab is the most important weapon in boxing, then the teep is the most important weapon in all of striking. It beats everything. It's your longest strike, it's thrown fast, it's hard to see coming, it's extremely precise, and it causes maximum disruption by off-balancing, rhythm interrupting, and gassing out your opponent without costing you much effort to throw. You can win an entire fight and make your opponent cry in frustration purely with a good teep. It's the most pimping strike. So you must become a good teeper, assuming you want to become a competent warrior.
This is Sparta!
Right, to keep your pimp leg righteous, all you're going to do is stand in front of a wall, put a chair in front of the wall as pictured, and kick the same spot over and over again on the wall. It's that simple. Here's the thing though, you obviously need to pay attention to good teep mechanics, good teep technique. Let's look at what that involves. So a quick breakdown of the front foot teep. Step 1 is bring the back foot up so it's in line with the front foot ankle. As you finish stepping the back foot up, you're going to lift your front thigh up. This is known as a chamber. As the front thigh is lifted around 90 degrees to the floor, step 3 is then leaning back as you extend your foot into the target. Different fight styles will require that you have different weight distributions. For now, put 65% of your weight on the back foot and 35% of your weight on the front foot. This is your default weight distribution in between strikes. Then when you decide it's time to throw the teep, suddenly and subtly about 80% of your weight quickly transfers onto the back foot so that your front foot becomes light and you can thrust it forward. Then once the strike is complete, you return to that neutral 65-35% weight distribution again. Your back foot position is critical. You want your toes facing slightly away from you, i.e. an externally rotated supporting leg. You also want that back foot completely flat to the floor the entire duration of the kick. That means the heel is not coming off of the floor. This is because the power of your teep comes from pushing off of your back foot to generate force. That force is transferred through your calves, your hamstring, your glutes, i.e. your kinetic chain, into your hips, which you extend forward as you lean back slightly. Anytime that heel comes off of the floor or you lose your balance and you wobble, that force is not transferring as efficiently as it could if your foot was completely flat. Also, when you come off of your foot and you lift the heel, you risk losing balance and being countered and pushed over. Which is why you want to keep the foot flat to the floor with your toes pointing slightly outwards.
Hey gang, if you're enjoying the content so far, make sure you like and subscribe for more.
Seriously, do it. Don't be a pussy. To guarantee your kick is powerful, time the extension of your hip with your lean back with the impact of the foot on the target. So, as your foot hits the target is the same exact moment you want to extend your hips forward and lean back all at the same time. The reason the hip extension is so important is because your leg is not actually that heavy, but your hips are. So therefore, we want to hit our target with as much mass as we possibly can, which is why we want to send our hips into the target and not just the leg. And the reason that we lean back is because it's a counterbalance. For every action, there's a reaction. So what goes forward, you want the same amount of mass going back. If you're thrusting your hips forward, you want to also lean back to counterbalance and make sure you're retaining your balance and you're not off balance. By extending your hips maximally and leaning back at the exact time that your foot lands, you also establish and start training and developing your true range. Because your range of your teep is not just the length of your leg, it's also those few inches of the hip extension as well. So it's important to train that and become aware of that to improve your proprioception as a fighter. And what you'll find the more you train your hip extension and leaning back is that the range of your teep is way longer than you initially thought. So here you can see there's equal hip extension as there is upper body leaning back. So I'm nice and balanced. Also, look at the line from the hip, the knee, and the point of impact on the target of my foot. It's all in a straight line. However, there's a slight little bit of slack in the knee where the knee is slightly bent and flexed, because you want a little bit of room to kick through and extend through the target. If your knee is completely locked at the point of impact of your foot on the target, then you don't have any more momentum to kick through. Also, you risk injuring your knee. So it's a lose-lose. Whereas if you have this little bit of slack, you'll notice, like in this clip, the guy kicks through him, and that's how you send people flying. One final hack you can use to massively improve the power and extension of your hips is turning your palm outwards as you drive it back past the kicking hip at exactly the same time your leg extends. Remember, the world, reality, men is about balance. For every action, there's a reaction. The more balanced we become, the more powerful and competent we become. So as that hip extends forward and the leg extends forward, the arm at the shoulder extends backwards. Action, reaction. Notice, we are not chopping at the elbow, we are driving at the shoulder, turning the palm outwards, driving the shoulder backwards. The technical term for this is internal rotation and hyperextension of the shoulder. Final point, Habibi, very important one, my brother. Your other hand must stay high above your eyebrow line. Keep your other hand, your backhand up above your eyebrows, because how you drill is gonna be how you fight. If your hands are nice and tight during drilling, then when you are tired and stressed and scared and nervous during a real fight, it's okay. You've drilled this so many times, your hands are naturally going to be in a well-protected position. However, if you drill like a retard and you keep your hands flailing about all over the place and you're always lowering them during drilling, then that's what's going to happen when you fight. You're going to get caught with a random shot. You're going to get knocked out in front of your mum, her sister, your girlfriends, brothers, aunties, postmans, dogs, best friends, step uncles, adopted fucking daughter's boyfriend. Everybody in the crowd will see that you are unconscious. They will think you are a dickhead, and it's purely because you didn't drill with your backhand above your eyebrow line, yeah? So to protect yourself looking like a twat and the whole world knowing you got knocked out, simply drill how you plan on fighting, which is nice, high, tight rear hand, protecting the vital parts of your fucking boat race, which means face to anyone who's not English. You get me, cousin? Aim your teep into one of three targets. The thigh, just above the knee, the bladder, just above the belt line or on the belt line, and in the solar plexus, right in the middle of the chest.
Your push kick very good. Your push kick to the body, push kick to the face.
I break his nose with that kick.
Your push kick good. Your push kick very good.